Welcome to Levack and Guys Hump Day edition. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. I am just loving life. I may have to. How long is jet lag supposed to last? Because I'm blaming jet lag, but I think I'm just fat and lazy. I don't know. I just don't want to move. I just don't. Like the desk is like my lounge chair that I sit in is way over there. It's like probably 12 feet from me. Coming over here to do this today before Flock U tonight was heavy lifting. It was heavy lifting. I didn't really want to get up. I'm going to be honest with everybody.
Let me quote two great American scholars. One is my favorite quote, and he's done far more to his career than give this quote, but the pride of Scotia, Zach By, who once said to me, the human body was never meant to fly, which is absolutely true. So anybody who ever flies, just remember, the human body was never meant to fly. And number two, let me quote the great rap group Digital Underground. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the umpty.
Oh, ladies, how I like to thump thee. And all the rappers in the top 10, please allow me to bump thee. I'm stepping tall, y'all. And just like Humpty Dumpty, you're going to fall when the stereos pump me. Sorry. I can keep going if you want. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. They say I'm ugly, but it just don't faze me.
Well done, Levack. I thought I
could do the whole song if you want. I could. I really could.
Thought I had it in the holster. Nope, you came out double barrels. Nice try. It's the mask. It's the face that gets me in that. You know, it's the one of the Marx brothers, right? Is that the face he's got there?
I think so. I know he's got the prosthetic nose. And the glasses. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. There's about a good chunk of our audience has no clue what just happened there the last 60 seconds.
Well, they need to go learn themselves something because, Digital Underground, Humpty Dance changed lives. I like the
great music video.
Yeah.
Let's talk about tonight's bathroom. That's right. That's the line right there.
That's the one.
I wish I could play that music. I can't. Spotify, they won't. Again, that's a great compliment.
You don't need it. Hey, fat girl, come here. Are you ticklish? Yeah, I called you fat. Look at me. I'm skinny. Never stopped me from getting busy. I'm a freak. I like the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. Yeah, I was never good in science. I actually wasn't good in music class or any of that. But you give me a solid '90s rap tune, and I'll drop bars. I will. I'm ready.
No, I'm sad. I stepped on some of that for you. I wanted that to be the short. Just 2 minutes of Levack doing Digital Underground.
What was it? What was it? House of Pain or something? One day I shocked you on the ESPN show, and I did like a full song, and it became a thing like weekly. People were like, "Well, yeah, but does he know this one?" And I'd like drop that. It's literally it's That's right. I'm more idiot than savant, but it's in there.
Let's go to tonight's Flock University. Maybe you could drop some hot bars and unknown remixes with Coach Ware. Tonight is the season finale. I want to make sure I clarify that. Tonight is the season finale. What can Firebird fans expect? What is your thoughts hours away from the final scheduled regular season postseason show of the season of 2026?
This is always my least favorite. Like, even when we win, I hate this one because it's a post-mortem. It's like, hey, here's what we did this year, everybody, and here's what we're going to do next. But I think it'll be cool because, you and I have broken down, a lot of the game, the decisions made in the game, that last 57 seconds of the Arena Crown. It's funny because I got to do that face-to-face with Damon, like on the flight home, and actually while we were waiting for our Ubers at the airport, and just watching him nod at me like approvingly, like, "Oh, you paid enough attention that you know what the hell you're talking about here." I'm like, "Let's go." He's like, "Good job, Jeffrey." Like, when I get a Jeffrey out of Coach Ware, that's when I know he's proud of of my knowledge. I want to hear, like, you'll be able to hear it from his perspective, what worked, what didn't work. I know that we've been texting back and forth about like little things that we have to do at the end of the season. And his replies have taken a long time. And like, for a lot of people, they'd be like, "Oh man, come on, man. We got a lot to do. Can we get this done?" Where I know exactly what's happening right now. There is a whiteboard somewhere at Casa de Ware with, just completely breaking down everywhere that he thinks he should have went left when he went right this year, everywhere that, this guy should have played this play versus that guy. And and he probably already knows who's available or will be, so I know that he's hard at work. So getting a view into the beautiful mind that is Damon Ware tonight live at Herbie's in Clifton Park, I think is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people. But for me, it's just like, it's always one of those ones. It's like, okay, what is it? It's done now. Like, what do you want me to do now? Let's go eat a burger. What are we doing? But with him, it's always, getting a picture into his brain is always kind of fun.
Having the foresight of seeing this, and this is credit to you and credit to Coach Ware and the Firebird organization, that the show is called Flock University. Here on our visual side, we've got it called Flock U, and people come in and out. There's a reason I'm not calling it the Albany Firebirds Coaches Show or the Damon Ware Show, because you and Coach Ware and the Firebirds and whoever else is a part of the decision-making process of naming the show what it was with the connection to the Firebirds is that there was an education, learning of, hey, we're going to talk about the team, but you as a fan of the team may not know some things about the changes of AF1 and rules and strategy. And it's not to say like, oh, I know everything I'm going to teach. We want people to learn about the sport of AF1. And this is another perfect opportunity on tonight's show to be like, hey, for those who criticized the onside kick from Nashville, for those who criticized Castronova not going in, or that, it is a teaching time for people to be like, oh, you explain how you knew it. There will be some people tonight who will hop in the Facebook comments who may not have watched a single Flock U the whole year, who want to start criticizing, like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do? And as much as coaches shows sometimes do hit with kid gloves, because again, connection teams, everything else, this is the premise of the show. Hey, the reason we're doing this is so you in 2027 come to an Albany Firebird game and know what's happening. Because that's always the most embarrassing, right? And luckily you and I, because what we do for a living, that doesn't happen as often. But gosh, we've been next to the guy or the girl at the game who's like just got a few, whoa! Right. And some guy's got to put his arm around and be like, hey, man, there's a reason they punted on 4th down because they got, whoa! Like, you just don't want to be embarrassed. You just want to know some of the rules. Some people don't care, but if you're going to be obnoxious and yell and criticize, like, at least have a point behind the stumbling and mumbling of what happened. So that's a great thing about tonight's show. Yes, it's going to suck that it's not the championship show. Yes, it has that morbid feel of like this is the end of the 2026 season. And I keep saying that because I know more content's on the way in this calendar year.
Oh, yeah.
Preview in 2027. But that is the coolest part about this coaching show. It is not talking down to fans. It is not criticizing. It is, we did this as a team for this reason. Remember this for the future.
Yeah. And in season, barring something crazy, we do Flock University weekly. We'll probably do it once or twice a month, until the next season gets going. But like the other reason that you can't miss tonight, besides it's the first one we've ever done at Herbie's Burgers. So it's always fun. Like each location seems to develop its own personality. Like I've heard people say like, never miss one at IHOP. Like if there's one where like Levack is going to be like plus level crazy, it's IHOP. So like, what's the personality of Flock University at Herbie's? Rivers always seems to be one where both of us kind of pop off, both Ware and I. Hooters used to be where Ware would pop off because his wife hated it. But like there's
R.I.P. Hooters.
Yeah. I told her flat out, I was like, you killed my favorite place. But like there's a chance that a very angry Damon Ware walks in tonight. And as much as there's something, you who played and anyone who ever played organized sports at any kind of level, like there's something really uncomfortable about a pissed off head coach. Like really uncomfortable. But as fans, I have to tell you, there's probably nothing better than a pissed off Damon Ware, because when he is, that's when there's no punches pulled. There's no, like, he's going to be like, player B did this when he should have done that. And I noticed that this guy, like, and you as a fan, you need to blah, blah, like, you're going to get, I would assume it's a very low filter night. I would assume it's a very low, like, I don't think punches will be pulled this evening. And I don't think there's a lot to give out. I think if we were any other team, everybody'd be like, bro, undefeated champs, making a championship game, 5 out of 6 seasons that Damon Ware and I have worked together, Mike Corda and the crew and all that, 5 of 6 seasons we've been in a championship game. And the one season we weren't, there was no championship game for the teams that we were on. You know what I mean? Like, so like that, those kind of things, I think most teams would just be like, dude, get them next year. But I think because we've been so successful and because we're not shy about it, some would say we're arrogant, losers. I think that there's a feeling of incompleteness. Like we're the New York Yankees of arena football. That's who we are.
Show starts at 6 tonight, correct?
6 o'clock, Clifton Park, Herbie's. We'll break down a little postmortem of the season. You know, this is my ball.
One other thing to add quickly about tonight's show, the vibe of tonight's show, right? You've talked about the attitude of the coach and the attitude of the fan base. For comparison, when a season ends, the way in which a fan base doesn't want it to end, there could be a lot of negative vibes. There could be a lot of indifferent vibes, like, oh, we lost, I'm not coming to tonight's flock you. We've seen that happen across upstate New York with different coaches shows. At least for me, the vibe I'm getting about tonight's show is it feels like a lot of those people who have come out to the flock use are there to support and be positive and appreciative. Like, that crew's awesome. So that is not the negative, I can't believe it ended. That doesn't seem like tonight's vibe at Herbie's.
Where's walking into a standing ovation? I will bet you dollars to donuts, whatever you want to bet, that Ware walks into a standing ovation tonight at Herbie's. Tom Gross is probably already there. I don't even know if they're open yet.
Shout out to my guy, Tom Gross.
Yeah, Gross time. If you're not 6 hours early, you're late.
He's going to hit that watch, baby. He's going to hit it and let us
pain
know.
Right in the ass. Yeah, that's what he is.
All right, we move on. Enjoy tonight's show. We got a lot more to get to on today's show. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers have sold for a record-setting price. The rumors and reports are saying that it's being sold to a group led by Josh Kushner and Bob Iger. Bob Iger, a lot of people are familiar with him. His background is the CEO of Disney, and that role he had for a long time, and all the things that he oversaw. Kushner, famous for running the venture capital firm Thrive Capital, the co-founder of other spots. He's also the brother of President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. And he wanted to sell a minority stake in FIFA, and then there's stuff with there. Josh Kushner also holds a stake in the Heat and the Grizzlies previously. So he's got to get that out of the way to make that happen again. As we mentioned, Iger, CEO of Disney, Levack, this price for the Lakers, leaving the Buss family, is going for $12.5 billion. The Lakers had sold before in 25 a piece of the ownership, but now it flies off again. The Buss family's cleared out. What do you make of all this stuff involving the sale of one of the most marquee American sports franchises in the country?
Money's not real, and we need to stop stressing so much about it. I mean, that's I woke up this morning completely stressed out about cash, just figuring it out, like, because I'm, made my mortgage payment and those things. And then the purple and gold with a building went for sale for $12.5 billion. You know what I mean? Like, and listen, let's be perfectly honest. Some of my money's in that sale. Bob Iger's got a lot of my cash from his Disney days. He's got a lot of my money. It's just, it's insane. It's money that you and I will never even be able to fathom. When you think about how much money the Dodgers spend, you think about how much money the Lakers spend, freaking Clippers are over there. They don't even register on the Richter scale, and they're spending a gajillion dollars. Like, I will never, a lot of people don't know this. I don't know if I even told, I don't know if I told you. I got offered a job in LA probably 6-7 months ago. And and I told my daughter, because I wanted to see what her reaction would be. And she's like, I don't think there's any place on the planet you would hate living more than Los Angeles. And then just Monday, you and I met in downtown Albany, and I hate it. Like, I love Albany. Don't get me wrong. I hate driving in Albany. Like, I just don't want to drive in Albany. So like that's such a surreal location. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. And for $12.5 billion for a basketball team, and by the way, Forbes has the Cowboys now, what, 15.5, almost 16 bill. So yeah, money's not real. It's a construct. Insane. And they don't even have LeBron. What's up with that?
To make this even more confusing and more interesting, is that there's a guy by the name of Mark Walter who's involved here.
I thought you said Wahlberg. I was so excited.
Walter, he was the guy in 25 who bought that big chunk from the buses, but the buses are still there. So as it's being described as a controlling interest from the team, from the Bus family, that was $10 billion. But these guys, Kushner and Iger, allegedly really had zero interest in the Lakers to begin with, because these guys were the ones behind the push for the Las Vegas expansion franchise. So these guys wanted the Vegas franchise to get their own team. And then all of a sudden, somewhere in the dead of night, pivoted and said, screw it. Let's just go buy the Lakers. What a life to live. Let's just buy somebody else. This seems like a lot harder than we realize. Let's give them $12 billion. Okay, we're going to do that. So
we already raised the capital. Might as well buy something. Right. I don't know. I got flight credits. I'm like, what do I? Maybe I'll just upgrade my seats. It's like you're already in the third row. What do you really want? Come on.
More problems we'll probably never understand. Is there actually an issue with the Vegas franchise, or do those guys just have so much money and they're like, I don't want to wait anymore. I'm kind of getting bored. You ever see those people play poker and have like the ridiculous stacks of chips? Like, I just kind of want to get out on a hand. Yeah. I don't want to keep folding every turn. It kind of feels which I knew.
Well, again, it's not real. It's just not, money's not, it's just not real anymore. Like, Drogon is chiming in.
You're right. Like, they don't have LeBron. It's not even like the highest can be. Luka's great. The Lakers are being called, what are they called? Be called the Milk Five? That's what the internet keeps calling them, the Milk Five, because there's nothing but white guys this year out there for the Lakers. So I don't even know if they're going to be good. They could shoot. They could play.
They call them the Hoosiers. That's what we should call them.
That's right. The Los Angeles Hoosiers. So there you go. Laker fan. It's tough to figure out how, if at all, that will affect the franchise, who the ownership group is, and all that stuff. But the Lakers still are one of the most marquee things. Even post-Bus family, even post what it's going to be, that is going to be the double of an aggressive owner who wants the team to win. The team in Los Angeles, you mentioned those conversations you had about going to the left coast. If you said who's the most popular team in Los Angeles or California, it is still the Lakers. That it runs, even though the Dodgers are great, even though the Rams are out there now, it is a Lakers town and a Lakers state.
The Dodgers are ridiculous too. Like, if you think about it, like, the star power for the Lakers has changed dramatically. Blake Snell came off the injured list last night for the Dodgers. Mookie Betts had a game and a half, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, that's right, Mookie Betts is still a Dodger. That's how many stars are on the Dodgers. That's like, and then the Lakers are 12.5 bill without even, with no LeBron, with Luka. Luka's not white, he's clear. So I mean, that's
I love that line.
That's something. I don't know, man. I told you that Isaiah Hardy once upon a time was like, Levack, you're not white, you're just light skinned. And I was like, it was one of the nicer things anyone's ever said to me. It was so weird. It's like, I love who I am, but just knowing that I'm accepted by multicultures, and now again, many even at the owners' meetings, there were a couple people like, oh, here comes Levack. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't know anybody knew that joke. Like, what are we doing? Let's go. I can play for the Lakers.
One powerful franchise to that's right. One powerful franchise to another. It's the Yankees in this one. And gosh, we have not even said this guy's name, I think, on any of the shows over the last week plus. George Lombard. Is he the Brock Lesnar? The next big thing. The recent call-up, Lombard made news, gosh, probably closer to a week plus ago now, when the Lombard family was shown going viral as one kid made his debut in the minors and the other kid made his debut in the majors. Within that quick span, they both hit home runs, and it's this crazy moment, and you don't know how much longer we're going to hear about the Lombards, but sure enough, George Lombard is playing great for the Yankees. This quick quote from Alex Rodriguez when he talked about the Lombard family, and he said this via the Michael K. Show. A-Rod said this quote, well, he went to school with my daughter in Miami at Gulliver Prep, and A-Rod later went on to say, those kids are up every day. I mean, look, they're the product of Mark Newman and Buck Showalter. I mean, they're unbelievably well-disciplined, great manners. It's amazing what you have. A plus defender at short, how it makes your entire team better defensively. Lombard can do for the Yankees defensively and for those great pitchers what Aaron Judge does for the offense, New York's offense. That's how good Lombard can be. Like we said this before we turned on the mics. We're kind of looking at each other like, the hell happened? What were they waiting for? What are you frustrated even a little bit to be like, you had this issue, And Lombard's been sitting there. What do you make of this involving this phenom? For first time probably since Judge, a young talent's take with Cam and Judge, like he's on that level of this debut already.
I think this is one of those ones where you're forced to realize that Brian Cashman knows what he's doing. Like that's like, because yes, does it look like maybe Lombard should have come up sooner? Sure, we can squabble over that. You're still in the playoff race, and he's coming up now, and he spent more time on SportsCenter top 10 than the Yankees probably have this whole season since he's been up. Clutch home runs, big defensive plays, all that stuff. But this to me explains why the Volpe thing has gone the way it's gone. That like 100%. Like, why don't you trade and bring in a real second baseman? Because I'm just keeping the seat warm, or a shortstop, I should say. I'm keeping the seat warm. Well, why not bring in a middle infielder? Don't worry. Just wait. Daddy's cooking. Like, and then Lombard comes up, and now Volpe. I believe he is going to get reps at second base at some point, and who knows? Maybe that's the move that gets him where he needs to be, or whatever. Or do you move him to third, or I don't know, but or do you get rid of him altogether? Doesn't matter now. He was holding Lombard's spot. Like whether it was going to be this year or next year, or if Volpe had continued to be what he looked like in glimpses his rookie season and even the very beginning of last year, then maybe Lombard moves to second or something like that. But like, you don't go to the grocery store to buy something you already have. Like, that's just stupid. So Cashman's sitting there going, kids, this is Daddy's working. Shh, zip it. Be quiet.
To go off the he really was a great kept secret. Like the whole thing, to the point of another viral clip this kid had, was he has this big game. He's up on the podium. The reporter goes, "Hey, George, you're wearing a very unique number. You wear number 96 for the New York Yankees. Why is that?" He goes, "I showed up to the locker room that was hanging in my locker."
I wish he had lied. But like, yeah, my first lessons of baseball, my dad showed me the 96 team. I'd be like,
that's pretty awesome. Like, just such a good kept secret that who the hell's 96 out here played for the Yankees. It's worked. It really has. It's added a spark to this team. He's been very good for him so far. You wait for moments like this where a young guy can happen. Now, to the point of like all that stuff, I totally agree with. Like, he had something he'd waited for. Maybe, probably he's exceeded expectations this quickly for his career. But this has become a little more trendy in baseball, especially last year. Last year, this was all about the pitchers, right? You and I, for like a stretch there in August and early September, felt like there's a new guy coming up for the Mets who's starting. There's a new guy coming up for the Mets. You Savage, right, for the Blue Jays, Cam for the Yankees. We could probably pick a few more. Skeens, what was that, 2 or 3 years earlier? Where usually the trend was bring up the young pitcher and just have him be the Miz for the Brewers, have those guys come up later on and then kind of fool the hitters and everybody else. But now we've got a bat that comes up and a defensive player that's impactful. It's a lot to ask for these types of players to come up on competitive teams. My gosh, Ian Anderson was super young when he played for that championship World Series team for the Braves. So this is becoming more trendy in baseball, and it's trendy because it works. It's working. It's a good idea to make it work.
Yeah. Your boy Paul Skeen's not looking very good.
What was up with that last night? Checks out after 80 pitches. The velocity's down. Doesn't want to talk about it. Ooh.
Doo-doo. But Lombard's a name, remember, because he was one of Cashman's untouchables. But but they were talking to us about Grenier, who we've already seen, but he hasn't really had a real run yet. And Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones was the guy that we were all talking about. And before that was Dominguez. So it's kind of like, oh, we got a couple 2-3 things coming up. Imagine if these guys start playing. Like, all of a sudden you've got a homegrown group of Yankees, a new core 4 or whatever, if you will. It's gonna be a very interesting end of the season. Giancarlo Stanton was doing baseball activities yesterday. Your boy Emmanuel Barbari reported that. There's some green grass over at Yankee Stadium right now. There's some green grass.
And there also is probably going to be some people that push back and be like, he wasn't a great kept. You mentioned the untouchables, guys that he won't move. That maybe there was tons of hype around Lombard. Like, he was supposed to be this top tier prospect because he's a former first round draft pick. He's a top 30 pick. His dad played in the league. His brother's going to probably get to the league one day. It's not as if this kid was on an Iowa cornfield and crashed when it was driving by and saw him hitting 400-foot dingers. Like, obviously he was a part, but a big but. We've seen a lot of people who have been first-round draft picks don't make it to the majors. You could plan for your first-round pick to get there. And by the way, he got picked by the Marlins. You could plan for him to be there. That doesn't mean he's going to get there. So those are also things to factor in. If at all that actually changes, and gosh, that's a huge thing for 27. I hope we're still seeing baseball this time next year, but how much the minor league system's affected and how many guys are going to, then we can have a different discussion about what the draft means and first rounders and everything else. So I understand that pushback, but we've seen a lot of first rounders not do what Lombard just did that fast. All right, let's keep it going here involving the NFL. Yesterday's show, you mentioned, Levack, you want to dive into this on this Wednesday edition about the NFL worst to first potential. We inch closer and closer to the kickoff of the NFL's regular season, a little past Labor Day. Remember, that's that late Labor Day this year. I was watching people go through their calendars. They're like, they can't make things on Labor Day weekend, can they? Wait, Labor Day is the 7th? When are we doing this thing? My boys are finding out they get a late start to school and they're enjoying a longer summer. Here are the teams, by the way, who finished in last place in the NFL in the 2025 regular season. The Arizona Cardinals, the New Orleans Saints, the Detroit Lions, the New York Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, New York Jets. Levack, I will let you go first. Which, if any, of these last place teams in 2025 could finish in first place in 26? And one quick caveat, one quick thing to add. Technically, the Vikings and Lions tied because they were both in last place at 9 and 8.
I don't think. I think the Jets will not be last, but they will not be first. I think the Browns will be last, and I don't think it'll be close. I think that the Titans have a chance of climbing up, but I think the Houston Texans defense far too strong. Yes, I believe the Raiders will win the West. Yes, I believe it, but I also drank my breakfast, and I am 100% a Raider homer. It's in the National League to me. It's not the Cardinals. It's not the Cardinals. It's just not the Cardinals. I could see the Lions or the Vikings potentially being first, but I think the Bears are going to be dominant, so I'm going to take them out. I could see the Giants, the Harbaugh effect, playing solid, good football. That everybody looks like they're on the same page. I think the running game is not as good as you think it is, people, but the team is 100%. I would put all my monies, if I had to, on the New Orleans Saints. I think that is I just think the Saints are going to be so much better than they were last year. Your Buccaneers are in complete turmoil. Baker Mayfield playing on an expiring contract he doesn't want. Vito playing on a contract he doesn't want. Mika Eka got hurt today in training camp. Like no word on how bad it is. It's going to be between the Panthers and the Saints. If I've got to pick a team to go worst to first, I'm picking the New Orleans Saints.
The NFC South is turning into that scene, that famous Fresh Prince of Bel-Air scene, the one time the show gets emotional where Will Smith's character hugs Uncle Phil. Why doesn't he want me? Why doesn't he love me? And he's hugging Uncle Phil. And I almost mocking that moment only for them. I'm sure there's some real emotions behind that. I mocked it because look at the NFC South quarterbacks. They have to all realize that all the teams who might potentially put their starter out there, the team didn't want them. We'll go with Atlanta, right? If it's Penix, you signed Cousins, you signed Tua. Why don't you want probably because you have no more knee ligaments left. So Penix feels a little disrespected by the team that he's playing for. Tyler Shuck had a really nice 2025. Let's be honest. They didn't want him. They wanted Arch. They wanted Archie Manning. They wanted Archie's grandson to play for the Saints. They trotted Spencer Rattler out there in week 1 last year thinking the former QB1 5-star prospect might have something left in there. They didn't want Tyler Shuck as much as they want to twist it. The Carolina Panthers have a little revisionist history here. You guys did want Bryce Young. You, because of the trade and everything else, had the number 1 overall pick. You traded it with Chicago. Chicago got it later on. But you got the number 1 pick. You guys all remember out there in Carolina that you benched Bryce Young? Now, whether that was the coach or the owner is a hot debate down there in North Carolina. But the only reason Bryce Young got back on the field is because Andy Dalton got hurt. Let's not try to change that history. You didn't want Bryce Young.
Yeah,
but I think it's pretty obvious with Tampa. They're not giving Baker the contract.
The NFL, like, that story's everywhere, though. You know what I mean? Like, you get your opportunity, you do what you do with it. Some of these guys, they don't pop off when they're supposed to, but they pop off when they do. So but I think the Panthers as a whole are a better organization than they've been in quite some time. Maybe the owners learned to stay the hell out of the way. I don't know what the exact change is, but whether they wanted Tyler Shuck or not, they got him. And when he got his chance, he went with it. Maybe it was lower pressure and expectations, and that'll be a problem for him this year. But I think, is he the best quarterback in the South?
No, it's still Baker. It's still Baker.
Yeah. Is it? I never thought it was Baker. I'll give it to Tua before I give it to Baker. Baker sucks.
Baker had a very good season last year.
Overrated.
More so in the start. I don't love that Baker for another, what is this, third time in his career, all of a sudden said he was injured again. He's got a little, I don't love the Roethlisberger LeBron thing he's doing now. It's like, well, I did get hurt at the end. Okay.
Mike Evans,
Cleveland, yeah.
The lady from Ipanema or Buka or whatever the heck his name is, he's hurt. Like, Kate Otten is catching dimes at camp, but it's a very I think Tyler Shuck might be the best quarterback in the South this year.
I'm gonna stay away from the Saints because I'm not quite sure who's running the ball. Is Kamara retired or traded? It's like the 5th year in a row we thought he was going to trade. I do love Chris Olave. He's fantastic. I would lean towards the Falcons still, but gosh, here on August 12th, maybe it doesn't matter if it was April or August. Who the hell's playing quarterback for them? Everybody's sitting out reps and everything else. I'm going with the Lions. The Lions are my pick here. I like Minnesota a lot. I like them in our show back in the July edition. I do actually believe the team's going to be better with Kyler Murray than J.J. McCarthy, just as simple as we said earlier this week, like 3rd and 5. Who do you think is more likely to move the chains, Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy? And those things do add up, and those things do matter. But the Detroit Lions won 15 games not too long ago, the 2024 season. In 2023, they won 12 games and won the division. They got to an NFC title game and had a double-digit lead and blew it. They were the team to beat in the other season. That's the year where Dan Quinn went for 4th down, like on every single play, and the Commanders almost got to the Super Bowl that year. So I would go with the Lions for a combination of, one, the schedule's very soft. They get a huge benefit from being a 9-8 team playing the last place schedule. So they're just going to have a ton of wins. And 2, the North's insane. I've seen them win it before. I don't even know if they got worse, by the way. I know they lost Knuckles, but I'm not convinced that roster. They've never been healthy. So I'm going with Detroit. And the longer and longer this summer goes, I'm not going to talk myself out of the Rams. But boy, they're really good. Detroit is very, very good. Someone could talk me into the Lions having a better record than the Rams because the NFC West is still pretty tough with Seattle and LA.
Jane, you ignorant slut. Here's the problem with your take on the Saints. I know exactly who the running backs are. I know exactly who they are. Alvin Kamara reworked his deal. He ain't going anywhere. And your boy, and I'll say his name right, Travis Etienne is there. That Olave, Etienne, Kamara. Like Tyler Shuckett might lead the league in passing yards by throwing screen passes all season. Like and then don't forget, maybe the best name in all of football, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I mean, what more could you want out of a team? I sense a wager of some variety on who climbs farther in their division, the Lions or the Saints.
Ooh,
not even records. Who's higher ranked in their division by the end of the season?
We're going to start shifting our wagers now. That if I owe you one night at Hooters, that'll be shifted to Herbie's Burgers now. We're going to shift.
Once the Lark Street bar opens up, because I want beers.
That's right. So, I know you do. That was a good setup over there. Yeah. All right, we'll do that then. Maybe we'll piece that together, the prop bet of most likely to win the division, Saints or Lions. We'll figure out how that comes together.
Highest in their division.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Highest in their division gets a beer from the other guy. If they tie, it's the Boston Dan buys us both beers.
Perfect.
By the way, Corey from Greenwich, screw you. How about that? Screw you,
Whoa,
Corey.
what happened, Corey?
Screw you. Corey knows what Corey did. I woke up this morning to a friend request on Venmo in which Corey from Greenwich sent me a penny. because yesterday I said if you want to help support me on like kind of my own GoFundMe, Corey sent me 1 penny, insulting Corey, and then tried to send me like clips about football. And so I know you've seen this, but how dare you? How dare you?
Corey, come on, not 1 penny. Some of those are fees on Venmo. Come on, at least get up to 69 cents. And the other part, I don't know if
you know that Ryan McCarthy, we did a great guest spot on No Credentials Required with him and his boy. And I jokingly said, dude, you're supposed to bring us C4s. He sent me enough money to go buy 2 C4s plus the 69 cents. So that
hey, with me, how nice. Awesome.
McCarthy, good person. Corey from Greenwich, piece of poop. Piece of cow dung. Cow dung. Corey, that's your new name, Cow Dung Corey.
We love Ryan. We love Dustin. We got to do some. Maybe we'll do another cross branding with them. Man, that was a lot of fun the last time we were on that show. And speaking about Corey, I didn't have a banner for this. I got to be careful because I got to be careful as Corey is the reporter. But I do know Cole Burgess did get hurt. Greenwich's own, who was with the Steelers. He has been placed on IR. Corey told me the details of the knee injury, but Corey, with all due respect,
I believe Corey on that because
right.
I believe there's a restraining order on Corey from him.
That's a season-ending injury that Cole Burgess suffered. The pride of Division III football. Good news and bad news. Bad news is you're a Division III kid who might have blown out his knee, and that might be the last time you play in the NFL. That's obviously the bad news. You want to get a chance to play on a roster. The good news is before you took the field, you signed a 1-year and reported $900,000 contract, and now that you've been placed on the injured reserve, you now have an injury settlement. So Cole's going to be just fine. Cole's going to make himself a lot of money doing that physical therapy and rehab as a former D3 kid in the pride of Greenwich. So you got the jersey, you got the tryout, and you got the money. There's a lot worse things in life, Cole. You'll be just fine, man. And Coach Ware might call you. Who knows? If he knows that knee rehabs, there's another fall in 2027. I'd love to see him suit up for the Empire, the Firebirds and everybody else in the future.
As long as he suits up for somebody, that's all that matters.
That's right. Anchor Gravity Day, Levack. That's right.
What a disappointment. What a disappointment. I was on the scale at 933 this morning, hoping to lose some gravity weight. What a disappointment.
For those who have no clue what this is, what is Anchor Gravity Day?
Project Anchor or Anchor Gravity Day. So there was a theory on the interwebs that 2 black holes collided, which I didn't know they moved. And the repercussions of that were going to cause the Earth to go without gravity for 7 seconds this morning. And everyone was freaking out about it. And there was a part of me that was kind of like, I watch all, like, I'm waiting to watch The Last House. I'm waiting to watch, the end of Oak Street. I love all these disaster movies. I'm probably the most prepared zombie apocalypse person on the planet. Even more now that my daughter has medical training. She's back in the zombie survival group. I'm not sure about her fiance. He's going to have to earn his way. He's a young, healthy kid. He eats a lot. He's going to have to prove that he can, provide. This theory was so intriguing to me. And the fact that NASA came out instantly and was like, stop it. This can't happen. And all my friends were like, dude, NASA said it can't. What was NASA going to say? Duct tape yourself to the sidewalk? Like what? Like how do you prep for 7 seconds of no gravity? Like they weren't going to tell us. They were going to be like, everything's fine. You see them getting seatbelts on. You know what I mean? It's like when you get in a car with a friend you've never ridden with their parents before, and they buckle up real quick. You're like, oh crap! Like, you gotta go. Like that was if I started skipping through the house and hitting my head in the ceiling this morning at 9:33 a.m., I would have been like, nailed it. And just. Hopefully we went outside and all my stuff was still in my yard. That's all I would be hoping. Except for there's a mattress that I'm waiting to have picked up, and that could have flown away. Finders keepers on that.
I remember I heard the rumor, and then after you texted me, I also was like, dude, I want this to happen.
Just curious,
Right. And not even so much about the floating or getting up in the air. My media mind can never turn off. I wish it could sometimes, but I wanted to hear President Trump address it.
It was crazy.
Never happened. I don't remember. Must have been just your house. What? Oh, it was up in the air. What a whack job.
Sleepy Joe turned off the gravity. Dr. Fauci, this is from vaccinating your children.
That's everything. What I wanted.
Iran, I told you we needed to stop Iran. I told you. Now it's I float.
I wanted that. There's just no. Yeah, that's obviously,
Yeah.
hopefully everyone's fine. You floated, nothing got damaged. I just want someone. That's very much the plot of what is that? Don't Look Up. Isn't that the film right on Netflix or something like that?
Do you want me to ruin it?
What? That's not the name of the film?
No, Don't Look Up's not about like no gravity. Don't Look Up.
No. I don't look up.
Yeah,
there's a scene, right, where the end of the world's coming, right. But there's like a big thing up in the sky, and they're like, "No, it's all made up. Nothing's up here." Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what I mean. In all sincerity, like, I hate to do this to people. What do you think oxygen masks on planes are for? Because oxygen calms you down. Like, that mask is not a little lap belt on a plane going, 1,000,000 miles per hour headed towards the earth. Just relax. as my parents used to say, we never flew when I was a kid. I'm the youngest of 5. We didn't have any money. We never flew. So like I don't think there's a member of my family who wasn't afraid of flying at some point. And a lot of it was because I believe it was my dad who said it first, but my oldest brother, Bill, said it a lot. In the event of a plane crash, put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. Cause that's it. It's over. Right. So yeah, like what are you going to do? Because you're prepared all of a sudden. We're not gonna 7 seconds of no gravity is not going to disrupt the universe. Come on. I don't know exactly what happened because remember, there's inertia involved. Like if you were pole vaulting at that moment, you might end up in Saturn. But like I think if you were just in your house chilling, you probably wouldn't. Like you might see like the cat jump a little higher. But I don't like because no gravity doesn't like when you see moonwalks. They don't or if you believe that, it's not like. They don't just float off the moon. Like when they step, they go higher and they bounce. So there was a part of me that was it. And I was so proud of Christina and Delia at our old jobs. They both texted me this morning like it's Project Anchor Day because I was the one who told them about it in the office. So I was like, I'm about to be high as Snoop Dogg. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. The whole thing, man. I want it to happen. I want more crazy things like that in the world. Just make it happen. Crazy gravity, all those things. Gosh, there was one other thing I want to talk about involving that. Now it's gonna randomly pop in my head and be like,
you want to see what my weight on the scale was gonna be if it happened?
No,
Ozempic can kiss my ass. I got lighter gravity. I didn't lose a pound, but I did. Like technically, I'm lighter. You'd weigh more on Mercury than you do on Earth.
Is that true?
Yeah. Closer to the sun, travels faster, more gravity.
I'm going to remember what I wanted to talk about involving Anchor Gravity Day later on. I'm just going to blurt it out like a fool. Let's talk about Uncle Vito's new book. I know you and I were talking about
man behind the glasses.
Yes, let's talk about this. For those who don't know, maybe you're outside of the capital region, our pals, Quinn and Cantera, Pix 106, had an interview with who you and I both agree should be a New York State Broadcasting Hall of Famer, Uncle Vito. He had an appearance on the show to add a little history. Levack, please fill in the details if I'm not doing this justice. A longtime fixture on Pix 106, and then wasn't there, had a little bit of a rivalry with Quinn and Cantera, as they talked about. He admitted it. Hey, he wanted the morning show, wasn't happy that he didn't get picked. Came back, promoted the book. I found it as somebody who loves radio and media and all this. I found the conversation compelling and well done by Quinn and Cantera. This is a mentor, might be a little too strong, but
no, I'll go there. Okay,
a mentor in your career. You heard the conversation today. What did you make of all that stuff that happened locally?
Not enough me. I would have liked a little me. So for everybody to know, like the only reason I'm even doing this today is I used to I had an apartment in Arbor Hill because, I'm just saying, figure it out. And my buddies and I on Saturday nights when we weren't working, we would get beer and we would sit there, listen to the radio, and I would call and get on Uncle Vito's house party. I would do different voices, different characters, request different songs. And it was how many times could I get on the air with Uncle Vito before he would realize that it was the same person. And I used to get on like 3 to 6 times a week. And there were always people calling, like the phone was always busy, but I would get through. And I like from listening to him, I knew what he found funny. I knew what he found entertaining, and I would do it. And then I ended up winning WWE tickets from him doing voices. So I called, my buddy was like, dude, I want these tickets. Do a voice. So I did. I called up as Stone Cold as myself, and I could tell I didn't nail it. And then I called back as my buddy and did The Undertaker, and I won. And so when I picked up the tickets, Nikki Sear, who was the marketing promotions director, and Rocky Kowalski, who was there at the time, I told them I wanted to be in radio. And they told me to go to New School. I went to New School. One of my first events I worked was a live broadcast for Vito, and he was pissed off because the sound effect machine wasn't working. So I grabbed my nuts and I grabbed the microphone and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And he looked at me and he just started laughing. We got there. He goes, and I'm talking to him, and he, like, his head tilts. He goes, "How many times a week do you call the show?" I'm like, "Since I got hired here?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "None." I go, "Before that, probably 7, 10." And he's like, "I kind of recognize your voice." He goes, "Were you this guy?" And we became friends. And it was like, he's such a perfectionist. People don't know this about Uncle Vito, Ranger Danger, Gary Locatelli. Like, he's a perfectionist. Like, everything needs to be right. So people would tell you, don't talk to him before live events. Don't talk to him during. Leave him alone. Let him do his work. But I was just like, I kind of see like a kindred spirit. I see a dude that I relate to and I can learn from. And he used to let me come and hang out with him every Saturday night. He'd let me get on the show once in a while. He'd post weird pictures of me. Like when Elian Gonzalez got found in the closet, he superimposed my face on it. It was like, we just found Just Jeff hiding at the Pick Studios. Like, he was so, like, he was just, if you were willing to learn, he was willing to teach. And he's just always been, and I could call him right now and he would help me out. Like, that's who he is. But again, when they said to like people you stay in touch with and he didn't say me, I kind of pissed me off.
I think they were looking for much older Pix listeners. Like,
yeah,
I think everybody they named was in their 70s. No disrespect, Uncle Vito, but
and
20 years younger.
Yeah, but like my career kind of was like his career, because I don't know if everybody knows this, and I don't want to spoil the book. I'm sure it's in there. Vito used to call Mason and Sheehan, which was like the morning show in the Capital Region on Pix 106. So before Waking Up with the Wolf, before Quinn and Cantera, Mason and Sheehan was like the show. And the one thing I love about Quinn and Cantera, I love, like as a kid, I loved about Mason and Sheehan. Quinn and Cantera will bring up the uncomfortable conversation. Like they're not afraid of any conversation. And I freaking love that. Uncle Vito Mason Eddie was a character on Mason and Sheehan. And Mason friggin' fell in love with him. And that's how Vito got the job on Pix. And then Vito just ran with it and absolutely ran with it. So like the whole thing is, I got on by being a character on Uncle Vito's show. Vito started as a character on Mason and Sheehan's show. I just wasn't one character. I was just whatever I thought would get on the air. And then like I said, I think Uncle Vito is one of the most underrated entertainers that the Capital Region's ever had. You said it. He's a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying this because he's my friend. I'm saying this because he created Ranger Danger. There are people who think he did Ranger Danger as like a punishment. No, he created it. He had I want to say it was a cousin or a brother-in-law. I'm going to ruin the book. I'll ruin the whole book. I haven't even read the book, but I could probably, like, if you told me the title of each chapter, I could probably summarize it because how much I love, like, Gary. Like, I love.
Do you want the book?
100%.
Do you want to buy it? Yeah,
I'll buy it. He sent me a link for it, and I thought it was fake because he's talked about it for 100 years. When I got the link for it, I thought somebody was trying to get me to click a phishing link. Like I work for Belfour Property Restoration, restoring more than just property. And they're such a massive corporation that they send out fake phishing emails to see if they can catch you so you don't fall for the real ones. And they've scarred my noodles so bad with that I thought it was phishing. So then when you linked me to the interview this morning, I was like, holy crap. So I'm going to try and get to his signing. He's going to do a local signing, he said. I'm going to try and get to it and get an autograph firsthand from him because, again, he's meant that. I always say this when it comes to my family, Mike Korda and Andy Gelcher, like they've paid my bills one way or another for the last, 2021, I went to work directly for Mike. I don't remember exactly when Andy took over Mohawk Honda, but that day he became family. So like those guys have done, but when it comes to like inspiring me to create and not be afraid to create and to jump in it, that's Vito. Like that's Vito got me into radio. Sean McMaster wouldn't let me leave. So, that's, and then now you won't. Well, not radio so much, but
this media thing, whatever it is.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's like, I can't say enough. So I guess maybe that's what it was. There was 100%. And he's the same way. Like, if I did an interview about what got me into radio and I never said his name, I think he would call me. I think he'd be like, "What, did I piss you off? Like, what happened to us? I thought we were boys. I thought we were family." Like, because he means so much to me, and anytime I'm asked to tell the story of how I started, he's one of the very first names that comes up. There was a part of me that I'm like, I listened to that entire clip this morning going, what about me? You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like if somebody interviewed your dad and he mentioned your sister, but he didn't mention you. That's kind of like the way I felt this. Yeah. Like, and I know it's not about me, but everything's about me. So I'm going to totally give him a hard time. I'm going to show up. If he doesn't get wind of this, if no one tells him about this conversation, I'm going to surprise him. As long as I'm not, I don't know if hopefully he's not doing the signing while I'm at Disney. If I'm going to show up, I'm going to surprise him at the signing. And I'm going to ask him to write, please sign it and explain why you didn't talk about me on picks.
You know what?
Is there a chapter about me? That's what I want to know. Can I write? Can I have a late rewrite about Levack?
Here's what I'd like to do: give him grief and be like, because you didn't mention me on picks this morning, you're going to be forced to come on the Levack and Goz podcast to promote your book. Now, I don't know if he wants.
I don't know if he wants handle him.
Maybe I'll get out of the way. Maybe it's just you and him for like an hour. I think if people would want to hear that, that'd be kind of cool.
I'll text him right now. You want me to text him right now?
You're like, hey, Vito, can we promote your book? My co-host is just going to listen and just smile the whole time, listen to old school.
No, you have to talk. You have to talk. All right. But I would love to do that.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I thought I had him in my phone as his real name.
We'll air that.
You know why he's in my phone? He's in my phone as Vito simply because there was a lot of people in radio that would act like they were cooler than me because they knew his real name. So I'm like, I know his real name. I just don't ever say it publicly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things. Like, he is Uncle Vito. Like, that's who he is.
if he agrees to do it, maybe we'll air that on the week of the 24th. So that way, little evergreen, little promotion. We'll rip it for 45 minutes. And
the question is which version of him sits down? That'll be the entire question. Do we get Gary in a Giants hat sitting in his lazy boy chilling out? Do we get legit Uncle Vito Masonetti in the full suit with the tie with the red flower? Like, you just Ranger Danger sign on. Like, you don't know which version. It's like Cactus Jack. You don't know which Mick Foley's going to show up sometimes. Like, if we tell him that he can do whatever the hell he wants on this, he might do a wardrobe change mid thing. Like, he's dude, he's one of the most entertaining, quick-witted humans. And like, I'm in. We haven't done a guest since we started this, have we?
How about that? The first guest we could have would be him. That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe I'll call him and tape the call so you can hear him, like, when I give him crap, like, oh. And then he's gonna be like,
audio only.
Yeah, he'll be like, I didn't talk about you because I don't like you. Like, he'll go right for the jugular. He's great. He's literally like, again, like, if you like what I've done over my broadcasting career, thank Vito. If you hate what I've done over my broadcasting career, blame Vito. I know my mom hated him in the beginning. She never met him, but like, when I told her that I was going to leave cooking and start doing radio, my mom was heartbroken. Remember, I was in the Chef's Guild at 18. Like, my mom envisioned. I cooked for my mom a couple times at home, and my mom like envisioned me, being, Emeril Lagasse. You know what I mean? That was the guy. I was like, so like, my mom had this whole vision of what I was going to do with my life, and then I changed it. And then when I came home from New School one day, we had a field trip to Grandma's Pies. And you can hear all this in Getting There with Goz, episode 1 and 2 of Levack. Go back and listen to that. But I was scared. I was nervous. So Richie Phillips let me do the weather with him. And my mom's friends heard it, like and this is landline days. 3 of my mom's friends called her. Was like, hey, did I hear Jeffrey on the air this morning on the radio? And I came home and she was like, puffing a smoky, going, good job. I was like, all right. Imagine now. Do you think now she'd be proud, or just like, what the hell happened to you?
No, she would be very proud. She would be.
My dad would be okay by now. He'd be like, how many championship rings? None for the thumb. pussy.
Well,
I
that's
was
a great
executive of the year, Dad. Yeah, whatever.
Dad.
1 year. I was employee of the month forever.
Well, that was a great show. I feel like today we did a lot: football, basketball. Enjoy Flock U tonight. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to do. Tell your boy Ryan and Dustin that I want to do one of their movie ones. I want to do one of their movie shows.
Ooh.
Because I think no, I don't think people realize maybe the only thing I like more than sports is movies. Actually, it's probably one A, one B. But like I want to do that, and then I think you need to bring back Getting There with Guys. I think you need to bring it back, or at least we need to do it like once a week or something.
Here's what I'll say with Getting There with Guys. I think I told you about this, and I don't want to really reveal too many details. No. Oh. Wheels are in motion, which is my new favorite thing to say over the summer. Wheels are in motion. Calls have been made. If Getting There with Guys season 3 comes back, it is going to look a lot different. There's a chance it might just be a one episode. A whole season gets dropped in one day. Let's put it like that. It might be 10, like the new school Netflix style. Because
one of the things I'm thinking about is so a lot of people, for people who have been asking what I'm doing, I don't know, but we're doing this. Levack and Gaz isn't going anywhere. It might change the way we do it. Maybe it'll be longer, maybe it'll be shorter, maybe we'll do away with the video because I'm hideous. But it's not going anywhere. But like, I love the idea of you doing, like, I love that you're doing the Bills pregame show. I love that. I think that's huge for you. But I'm going to be doing more for Belfour property restoration. We're doing more like give back to community stuff. I'm gonna be trying to get local restaurants that I'm friends with together with firehouses and school front offices and stuff like that, like building the community outreach part of Belfour. But I'm also going to be potentially running broadcasting for the AF1. But on top of all of that, I think Levack and Gaz has to be the trunk for Getting There with Gaz and the AF1 season pass coming back. And like, I want to do different shows, a lot of them with you guys, some of them, maybe never by myself. I hate talking to me. I don't know how you do it. I hate talking to me. But like, I want to do different shows. I want to do different stuff. Like I'm like that halftime interview series for the AF1. That's going to continue. Especially if I'm in charge of broadcasting, try taking it away, losers. But like I want to branch. So that's why I love the idea of you doing that pregame show and I hope that I know you're going to knock it out of the park. I just hope you're you on that. Like, I hope you're you. Don't try to be
It's hard. Yes, it's hard.
Don't try to be too professional.
Pre-game shows, as you know, and post-game shows are harder because it's less about not you, but just people in general. Like, it's harder to do a personality-driven show on pre- and post-games because those should be about the game and the call. There's less than you. So there is a little challenge in that for sure. Same with the coach's show. The coach's show, you do your best to put your personality in it, but it's about the coach and the players.
It's about Damon.
Yeah. It's different than the Levack and Gaz, which sometimes people with this show feel it a little bit different. Yes, do my best, but it's not. That's a hard one.
Do you want me to do like weekly prop bets? You want to pay me to do weekly prop bets on the show?
Possibly. I don't even know how my show looks yet. That pregame show. I'm meeting Friday. I have no idea what my breaks are. I have no idea what I'm promoting. I don't know. Now, sorry, Cumulus. I don't know much yet. So I know you're on.
Aren't we doing one this week?
Yes, you're on the show in the second segment. That's all I've got so far.
So you don't even know how long the segments are yet? When do you find that out?
Friday.
So when are we doing that?
We're going to tape some. No, we'll tape before. My goal is
if you need me Saturday morning, that's fine. I can do it.
No.
I just need to know. I'm very busy not doing yard work. I'll have you know.
They didn't tell me if I have a producer or a call screener, which would be very interesting to do a pregame show with nobody screening the calls.
That's hysterical. And I can't even I'd offer to help in the beginning, but I'm not driving out there to do it. So,
no. So, okay, we'll go 12 or 15 minutes on Saturday morning. We'll tape something for that. But I love all those ideas. More content on the way, more creation on the way, fun interviews, stuff that people want to see. The short did really well. We were just on quarterbacks yesterday. So, one other quick thing before I know we're getting close to the hour mark here. Mohawk Honda, where they always go out of their way to please you. Glenville, New York, we appreciate them hosting our first live on location show this past Monday. It was so cool to be out there again. More live shows to come. I know we say that all the time, but remember, this takes time to build. We don't want to rush it out like Uncle Vito. He wants to be really good. So do we. The channels, the platforms, all the places you can go. But Mohawk Honda has been with us. I love my pilot. I will be flipping around Central New York today. I got to run to Syracuse football practice. My wife's at her job today doing summer school work for the kids. She's got the Odyssey out there. Mohawk Honda can help you find the ride, whether you're getting your tires changed, you're getting a new vehicle, you're getting ready for the fall, you're getting ready for tailgates. Mohawk Honda wants to help you. And don't forget, until the end of the month of August here, bringing your hygiene products, a great drive going on right now. Happy birthday to Greg Johnson, who celebrated earlier this week. We will be back in Mohawk Honda, if people want to mark this down, on September 14th. So there you go. That's not our next live show. We might have one other one before September 14th, but
might have two.
We've got two.
I got to talk to Katie.
We've got two for sure. Yeah, we've got two for sure now locked in for September. So
and those are actually going to be live. We're going to start doing those live. We're going to start doing so like if you want to interact live, you can do it through the comments and all that fun stuff. They'll be able to. So we will start doing it live. All right, listen, man, stop talking. Stop, Jesus. God, I thought you were never going to shut up.
I'll hit the button.
Hit the freaking button.